It was through some of the darkest times of my life when spirit began to make itself known to me through signs and clues from the other side. It helped me understand that I was not alone, that I was connected, and there was more to life than just this experience. I called those magic moments. I'm Christy Simoncelli, and I'll be your host for this podcast, Unreasonable Magic, where I will share some of the most compelling stories that cannot be explained away through logic from my work as a psychic medium, an astrologer, and a human design consultant, working with clients in my own life. Please join me for the magic. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Unreasonable Magic. I am Christy Simoncelli, your host. This is episode 9, and today I have a very special guest with me, my daughter, Miss Grace Widman.
Hi.
Hello, Grace. So we're going to talk about sensitive people, because we both are sensitive people, come from a long line of sensitive people, and what that looks like in the birth chart, what that looks like human design stuff, and how those things go together. But we're also going to talk about some cool things that kind of overlap in families. I just want to put one little plug in before we get too far. If you're listening to this as it's released, there is still time for you to join my workshops coming up this week at Lilydale. Thursday, July 30th, we're going to do Human Design 101. It's a full day session. It's the most in-depth human design course I've ever offered. And I've been teaching human design classes for 5 years now. So I'm even excited to see what I say. And on Friday, July 31st, we're doing the synergy of human design and astrology, which just is as cool as it sounds. Actually, my bigger challenge now is paring back because I'm throwing way too much in. But this is how I work with clients. If I'm doing your chart, I'm doing your human design too. So there's so much depth. There's so much nuance. And I think just the way that they go together is also quite fascinating. I will throw in the show notes how you can sign up. If you've been feeling a nudge, you're like, I kind of want to do that, but I don't know. Let this be the final push to get you to say yes, because we'll have fun. It'll be fun for everyone. So without further ado, Grace, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you? Like, what's your jam? What you do? What do you have a business? Tell us about that stuff.
Okay. My name is Grace. I'm 25. I am one of Christy's twins.
There are 2 of them.
And yeah, I have a business. I started it in January. It is event planning, I have photo booth rental, some backdrops rental as well, private parties, set up, that kind of stuff. I just really like to help people and make people feel special for events. I also have been in the restaurant industry for 9 years of my life. It really soothes my brain to problem solve and help people out, so I've kind of just been stuck in that for a while.
Do you have a degree in hospitality management?
Yes. I do have a degree, which degrees are important, but I think I learned more being actually like in the environment itself.
That's always how the world works, by the way. We always learn more from doing. Yeah. So for anyone who thinks they can't apply for a certain job because they don't have the right kind of degree, just go with what you know. Yeah. So Grace is a Virgo Sun. She has a Pisces Moon and a Libra rising. Mm-hmm. And this is important because if you know anything about astrology, Pisces and Virgo are opposites. So you can tell that she was born on a full moon. Okay, this is true story. She was born on a full moon. My dad was born on a full moon. My dad also died on a full moon. I don't know that there's math on that, but I just wanted to share. And it's pretty cool because that's just one of the sort of the things we're going to talk about today, these energetic signatures that stay in families. So the full moon thing's kind of wild. But if you have a full moon in your chart, you're going to always have a sense between my body and mind is like over here, and then my heart and my soul is over here, and they don't always mesh. So there can be a kind of this like, how do we meet in the middle? How do we get those parts of us connected and working together? Because oppositional, that's what the full moon is about. Oppositional energy always wants to merge in the middle. That's the goal anyway. I will say though, for you, full moon energy, you know, I do a lot of sports charts because I'm very into trends around football and hockey and different things. A ton of sports celebrities, athletes, famous people have full moon charts. And that's outside of sports too. Those full moon charts tend to be people who there's a lot of light on those charts. There's really not a way to hide, which is difficult because your sun is in the 12th house, meaning you want to spend some alone time. But anyway, full moon's a lot to carry, but it is also a life where there's going to be a lot of light shown on you. You can't really hide. So go with that.
Yeah, I would like just to comment on my opposite thing.
Please give us your real life experience of that.
Okay, like my Virgo is practical, right? I want to have all the plans figured out. I want to know I'm going to make this money and have everything figured out. But then there's also the part of me that actually relaxes and can just loosen up a little bit, is the part of me that wants to create and just like do whatever and be aloof. But it's like those two things don't really work together. So that's always my struggle, is finding, because like I feel like my business is
service oriented.
Yeah, and creativity for sure. But I also am practical, so I like to know like A, B, and C of them, but I don't know all the things, so that stresses me out.
So I'll comment. So Virgo for sure wants to be of service. Virgo loves to organize a thing, make sense of a thing, put stuff in order, make a space feel pretty. Like that's total Virgo stuff. The Pisces part is a little not so good with the details. Like the Pisces moon is like, oh, look at that. It's pretty. I want to go lay down next to it. Like, I want to take a nap. I love everybody. I'm crying again. What's happening? It's not super good with the details. So I could see where that would be kind of clashy for you. But your Libra rising, I should say, that's also a creative energy. Libra is ruled by Venus, which is the artist, and the artistry is there. You also have Venus and Mercury conjunct your ascendant, which is pretty cool, actually, because with having your chart ruler right on top of your ascendant, it kind of doubles down that Libra factor. Venus being in its rulership is actually really strong as well. It's going to make that a really important planet for you. Probably the most important planet for you. So that aesthetic piece, as I've come to know as your mother all these years, is critical for you.
I don't think, well, recently I have, because my life is a little bit different this last year, but like I really don't know that I've ever worn the same outfit twice in public. Like I really...
Yes. And this is where you are like your grandmother, who I know her friends used to call her Barbie doll because of her clothes and so many things, the accessories. Libra rising people, which your grandmother also had. So this is part of the through line of family storylines here. They like to look nice. I can think of many people that are, or they have a collection, or they have a thing they love. Your sister Ava, she has 100 pairs of Chuck Taylors in all shapes and sizes. She also is a Libra rising. Dave is a Libra rising. How many variations of the same Bill's clothes does Dave have? 1,000 of them.
His niche.
So he also has many collections. And so this is that Libra essence. But how it infiltrates into your life then is like, I must make it look pretty. I want to be making things nice and artistic and creative and special and different. I feel like you're not very cookie cutter-ish. You want to have your own piece of things. You don't want to follow the herd. You want to be the leader.
I want to go where no one else is going because I don't want to be like everyone else.
So having your chart ruler conjunct your ascendant, or right next to, not to use too many astrology words, it's going to make that sort of extra amplified for you. So that Venus sensibility, that creativity is profound for you. And I also think, though, this contributes to the soul-centered ruler of Libra, your rising sign, is Uranus. And that's the innovator. So that's like, I want to do it different. I want to spark this place up. Do you resonate with this, wanting to do things your own way, follow your own path?
Yeah, I feel like, I definitely like to follow my own path because I just feel like I just have big ideas or like little bursts of like, ooh, that'd be cool. Or, ooh, so then I just want to try them and see what happens. And I'm all out for being innovative and like just trying to spice things up a little.
Which takes me to, I think, the most critical piece of this particular puzzle before we jump into the sensitivity points is that you're a manifestor in human design. I was not aware of this. And you and your brother are twins, so obviously you have the same chart. Born just a minute apart. Thank you, Dr. Santos, for that.
The best.
The best, yes. And you are both manifestors. So when I started studying human design back in 2018, I learned about all these different things. And one of the things I thought was manifestors. And of course, if anyone is listening and they're curious about human design, or you know your own chart, but you haven't looked up your family's charts, please do that. Or if you haven't, you're going to want to do that because it's just good fun and good stuff to learn about. My kids are both manifestors. And I was like, oh, well, looky there. And then later on, when Dave and I got together, and then one of his children, your other sister, is also manifestor. So 3 of our 5 children are manifestors. It's only about 9% of the population that's manifestors. We have like an overload here in this particular family. So I'm real good at what it is to be a parent to a manifestor. I just wish I knew for your sake what that was earlier in your life, because you were about 18 when I started learning about all this stuff, ready to go to college.
Yeah.
But I can say to anyone who has a child who is a manifestor, let them do what they want. I know that's like poor parenting advice, but they're going to be real difficult if you try to rein them in. Real difficult.
But also, like, as this type of person, I do listen to people around me, but I personally don't learn until I'm actually doing it myself. Like, I have to want to do it myself, and then I have to do it myself to figure it out. Like, I don't figure it out by listening.
And it can also be really frustrating for manifestors to have people try to control them or tell them what to do. But manifestors also need to be appreciated for their unique gifts and the things that they bring to the table, or else they're going to feel like a wet piece of toast. Do you resonate with that?
Yeah. Like, I have this like intense sense of like I need to do something meaningful with my life. I don't want to just be like,
let me show you something else here. So just what we're looking at on the screen, that big rectangle right there in the middle of your chart, it's pretty blatantly obvious. That's called a mystic rectangle. And it is, as the name suggests, mystical. So you might have those gifts, you know, like your mother. But what this really is, and I see this on a lot of different people's charts, this is someone who at the end of the day wants to leave the world a better place than they found it. They want to make a contribution on some level, not just, you know, pick up garbage, although that's a noble profession. But you want to leave something in your wake. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm not settled right now because I feel like I haven't, like, found that yet, but I can feel it.
Well, you're young. You'll get there. It's a drive for you. The Virgo part of you very much wants to be of service.
I hate when people tell me I'm young. Like, I know I am, but, like, it just, like... But I feel like I can still...
You can still make a mark, and you absolutely should strive for it, but don't beat yourself up if you haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
In human design, you are a 5-1 profile. 5-1 people get dumped on a lot. People project onto them. They try to make them out to be what they think they are rather than what they actually are. People often miss the mark and sort of push things on you, but they also want you to help them. They want you to come at them with, oh, I can solve that problem for you. Oh, let me do that, because you can. Because a 5-1, that you are Johnny on the spot. You can fix a problem. You can see the bigger picture. You can see what needs to be addressed. And you've also done your homework. A line 1 person is a researcher, someone who's dug into the topics, the things you're passionate about, you want to know about. But it's the 5 part that gets the projection. People are like, oh, well, you think you're so this, or you think whatever. Yeah. Manifestors also have, and I'm just throwing this out there for anybody who might be manifestors, manifestors have a very specific energy to them. I believe now, at this time of my life and career, that I can spot a manifestor from 20 paces. They hold themselves different, but the way that they present themselves is so specific. The thing I always say to my manifestor clients, and you are not one, but I'm going to say this to you now as your mother and as someone who works in this space, manifestors are not for everyone.
Yeah, but then it's hard as a Libra rising.
It's hard as a Libra rising. It's hard as the 5-1. I want to fix and help people. I have this mystic rectangle. I want to leave my mark on the world. I have this sensitive Pisces moon that's just so sweet and kind and wants to do all the things. And y'all still aren't for everybody, okay? But manifestors cannot be concerned about that. They have to stay with what they want to do. And so if there are people who are dumping on you or asking you for too much or not appreciating you, you need to just keep doing you. Like, that's all I will say to you.
Yeah.
And I do have a manifestor client in particular that I think of because she giggles when I say this stuff to her. I'm like, name one single person in the entire history of time that's been for everybody. Not Jesus, not Martin Luther King, not anybody, no big leader. Everybody has an enemy. Everybody has someone who doesn't like them or appreciate them. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So as a Libra rising, the lower octave of a Libra rising is that, oh, I want to people please. I want everybody to like me. That's not possible, right? Libra rising, you are here to do good work. You are here to bring order and equity into the world and have right relationships and just causes and all the things, and everybody has what they need. That's the beautiful part of a Libra rising.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you can have nice clothes and stuff too, but also that's what you're here about, is that relationships are huge for you. Relationships are how you are going to prosper in this lifetime, especially with having that Venus on your ascendant. How is it for you to have a mother who does the work that I do?
It's actually so helpful.
Okay.
Because like what you do for people, like people have to pay for it to like start. I mean, that was I just straight up like if they don't want to research it themselves, they have to pay to learn what you're telling them. But like about like Ava's friend Rachel, like everyone that comes over like, can you do my chart? What's going on? But it resonates, not because it's something you want to hear, but it's like it's so like, okay, tell a story about how when I left St. Bonaventure and like you knew it was going to happen before it even did. And then when I left, there was like a major shift in my chart. There's just so much stuff that happens that is in the chart. And then it reaffirms for you that everything does happen for a reason. So for me, it's like a huge support to know that everything I'm going through is for some type of reason. There's some type of lesson in someone walking away from you, or a job not working out for you, or you hit your rock bottom, but like you learn something every time. And it's not, it's just a season of your life. It's not forever.
It's a season. And I think that's one of the best things to take away from astrology is that there are cycles. Much like we look out the window and it's like right now it's crispy lawn season where we are. Everything is crunchy. Rock hard and crunchy. In 2 months ago it was a mush, right? So we know there's cycles. That's something super simple, but I think that's why I love nature so much, because you can actually see the cycles of life occurring in real time. Always, and especially if you're in a funk, everybody, if you're in a funk, it's going to pass. It'll pass. Yeah. And there's always people that can help you. But also learning about your astrology and human design stuff can be really helpful, because all of a sudden you get context. You get a little bit of the, what am I here for? Why am I going through all of this stuff? The way I am interpreting your chart, the way that I look at it, both as your mother, so I'm biased, always get someone who's not your mother to do your chart for real. You are here to rise above the lower octaves of Libra. Don't worry about the people pleasing. Think about the service. Think about how you can make the world a better place. Think about what you can contribute to the world. Yes, use your sensibilities around Virgo service and Pisces Moon stuff and being sensitive and caring and wanting to use your creativity, but know that your bigger gift is in timing, really. You can be really persuasive if you want to be, with your words, with your delivery, but you can also, on the shadow part of this, suppress your emotions too long and wait too long to share stuff. Does that feel on track for you? And then we kind of explode a little bit. As your mother, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can get stuck using logic for things when really your emotions are your special skill.
Well, see, though, you also on the flip side tell me like to not make a decision while I'm emotional.
Well, you have emotional authority, so I tell you not to make a decision in the moment. I will say cooler heads prevail, but we talk about the emotional wave. For those of us, and it's about 53% of people have an emotional authority, emotional wave. I have this. In fact, we're fortunate that you and your brothers and I all have that, so we don't have to fight emotionally. Your father did not, though, so that didn't work out good for him. Anyway, you're meant to feel the whole range of emotions before you make a choice. You're meant to feel the excitement. Oh, yes, I want that. And then the next day, like, oh my God, no, I don't want that. And then hopefully by the maybe second or third day, you're finding the middle. Like, well, considering the highs and the lows, where do I really want to be?
I feel like that actually does help me make a decision. And I feel like it helps me make a decision quickly, is feeling both sides of it, like, within those couple days. Like, I feel like I can pretty much decide like, if it's for me or if it's for me. Like,
you can kind of feel that out. Now, obviously, a bigger decision, like, do I want this job? Do I want to move? Do I want to marry this person? Whatever. You're going to need to feel the full range of the emotions to make the decision. But you can't go on for months and years. It's not intended. That's not the plan for emotional authority. You're meant to kind of feel it all. So yeah, when you're highly emotional in the opening act, no, don't make the choice there.
Right.
Wait it out.
But still feel it and observe it.
See, feel, observe, all those kinds of things. Yeah. For people who don't have emotional authority, those are the ones who feel all of our feelings. So your father, for example, who lived in the house with me, you, and Nick, had an open emotional center, meaning that any place we have an open center in our chart, we amplify the energy of other people that were around. So, for example, me, you, and Nick, we could be having a bad day. He'd be fine. We come in, all of a sudden he's feeling it 2-3-fold because we're all having all of our feelings on the table. And so that can be overwhelming for the person who has that open center. And those, that's a thing. Grandma had this.
Do I?
No.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I think I feel that, though. I feel when people are upset. What is that?
Well, you also have an open identity center, and this leads into some of the things that we would talk about as sensitive placements, which was what the intention of this podcast. We wanted to share some tidbits for our listeners, for people who are like, I feel like I'm an emotionally sensitive person. I feel things. There is that open emotional center, also known as the solar plexus. That's a huge one. When I see that open, I know someone's like the true emotional empath. Not to say the rest of us are not, because there's lots of other places you can see that. But when it's open there, you could walk into the funeral of a stranger and cry because you can feel all the feelings in the room. I will not do that, but you might do that. You're a little more sensitive. Yeah, your Pisces moon is a contributor there too, though. I just want to say.
Like, I feel like all I just do is read people's, especially working in a restaurant too. Everyone that walks in the door, I'm like, I feel their vibe. I don't know them at all, but I can just like get a sense of who they are based on like my
100%
interaction with them
Pisces
for 20
moon.
seconds.
Pisces moon, open identity center. So the identity center, if you have your human design chart, is that diamond shape in the middle. Some charts it's yellow. So if it's yellow, it's defined. If it's white and it's open, this would be you. Okay, this is me. This is a lot of people. It can make it so we are profoundly sensitive to our space. We can feel everything around us. We might not want to have tags on our clothes. We might not like the room we get when we go to a hotel and we should move, and we might not like the table at a restaurant. It's going to matter. If you're not comfortable in your space, it's going to be hugely impactful, but it makes you profoundly sensitive. That's a thing. That's a place of sensitivity in the chart. So that's a for sure. So if someone has that, you're sensitive. They're not exclusive. There's other gates and channels that can be really sensitive. So the 1949 channel, this is also people who are hyper aware of their environment. They'll be like, oh, that person's being left out. I'm being left out. I feel sad about this. They need music to kind of move their moods. They can be animal people. Animals love these people. It's really profound. So that can be a thing. You don't have that one, though. So you're going to amplify energy there. That's something I have as your mother that you don't have. I have that. Actually, it's a lot for me. It's something I've had to work out in my life because I have a tendency to want to make everybody comfortable, and I can't possibly do that. But it's something I like to try to do. Gate 55 is an emotional place. If you have that, I have this in Jupiter. This is all pretty moody. It's a pretty moody energy. Big mood swings, right? It's technically called the gate of abundance or spirit. It's really about someone who's going to have really high highs and really low lows. There can be like literal deep melancholy to euphoria, jumping all over the place, really without a trigger. And does not mean you need medication, although maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe that's my next step. But to me, that's where I'm supposed to produce from. When I'm having a really low, I know that I need to write something, create something, get something out of me and share it. And that's part of, to me, the wisdom of gate 55 is being able to feel intensely and deeply and then share it, because there's learning to be had there, because not everybody gets access to that place, if that makes sense. Gate 22 is another one. You have that. So that's in the emotional solar plexus. That one's really very emotional too. They think about this as like acoustic sensitivity. Like, I can't listen to that. I can't listen, like when I swallow my tea and I'm talking to you on the phone and you're like, Mom, could you swallow someplace else, please?
I really. It's like, I'm like, is there something wrong with me? Like, why does that instantly make me
Gate 22.
Like,
but this is, you need music. You pay attention to sounds and the ambient space. You need
ambiance.
Yeah.
Lighting.
Yeah, that's your gate 22. That's what grounds you.
Yeah, like at night when I get home from work or something and I like eat dinner and I go to bed, and then the lights in my room are so like cute and cozy that it just like makes me feel like
I would also add in having an open spleen center, which we haven't really talked about the spleen center, but if you know your chart, that's the left triangle that points in towards the center. That is the center of fear and intuition. So I always say to clients, think of those as two sides of the same coin. So we may be feeling an intuitive moment, but then we're like, ooh, or am I afraid, right? I don't know. I can't tell. The goal is that we all feel both. Mm-hmm. We're not meant to let the fear guide us. We have to stick with our intuition. But when you have it open, you're going to amplify everybody's fears and intuitions. So the people who have an undefined spleen center, you have unlimited capacity for intuition. But I see a lot of this, especially in young kids, and this is why it's a critical thing to know your chart of your kids. Really sensitive at school, really sensitive to chaotic energies. I have a friend who has a child who has this open, and as a young kid, he would literally run out of school because he was overwhelmed by the feelings that he got in school. And so how do you work with that? You know, if you know this as a parent, you know, everything you feel is not yours. Everything you're picking up on is not yours, and having some tools to help them come back into themselves. Now, that's difficult with a kid. If I see any kids' charts or any people's charts, I see gate 19 all by itself, I'm going to say, please do not yell at these people. Gate 19, do not yell at them if they are your child. I have a gate 19 and I'm like, do not yell. It's a thing. Profound sensitivity. One of the most sensitive places in the chart.
Okay, can I comment on the other thing?
Yes.
I feel like in school, like when I was younger, I feel like I didn't have like a big group of friends. Like I feel like I always just had one best friend. But I feel like I always kind of felt like an outsider in school, like when I was younger. And I don't feel like I really got a good group of friends till I was like in my sophomore year or something. There's always been a part of me that has felt like, I don't know, a loner. But then also, when you're talking about the intuition stuff, I can differentiate those two because my anxiety is like, because like I do get many like of those like pop-in thoughts of like, okay, but like, my intuition comes to me when I'm very calm. And it's like something that feels... It doesn't make me nervous. It just like feels like stable and solid. But like the anxiety stuff is they're racing.
Yes.
With thoughts that are just scary and don't make sense.
That's really wise. I learned that like 4 years ago, and you're a young person. So that's why it's good that you're young and you're smart, because I did not know those things. I always say to my intuitive development students, intuition doesn't yell.
Yeah.
And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, pretty sure. Yes. So you're having alarm bells go off unless you actually have a tiger chasing you. That's not your intuition. Mm-hmm. That's something else.
Just like comes in and lays down next to you. It feels
it's like, a soft, supportive energy.
Yeah.
And there are certain people who have that center, the intuition center, their spleen, as their authority. So they have splenic authority. They get information in that whisper. That's how they make their choices. They don't have to feel the wave, and they don't do all that other stuff. They just wait for the intuitive hits to come, which is really critical if you're someone with splenic authority, that you have ways to access your intuition, because you get quiet, all that. Speaking about being a loner, which I don't think you've ever been a loner because you've always had friends, but maybe not the most friends, but it's more quality over quantity, I think, with you.
Yeah, because I feel like because I'm a deeper person that I do better with friends that I can have deep conversations with.
So those are some of the key pieces of the chart that can really point at sensitivity. And again, please bear in mind, none of these things are meant to be an island. They're not meant to be, oh, I have this one thing, I'm sensitive. If you feel like you're sensitive, you're sensitive. You could have none of these things and be sensitive. Yeah. But when I'm looking at things I'm going to talk about in a chart, those are the things I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about gate 19, 49, 22, 55. I'm going to talk about the open identity. I'm going to talk about the open solar plexus and or the open spleen. There's other signatures that would kind of make me think about things. If I look at the astrology chart, I'm like, where's Neptune? Is it in a prominent place? What's happening with your moon? Is it a water moon? There's all sorts of things that we could look at. So part of the reason I wanted to do this episode was because I am a sensitive soul. I know that you are, as is your brother. Part of what drove me to really dive into human design and astrology was to understand myself, because my biggest question has always been, what's wrong with me? Like, why do I feel this way? What's the matter? And how can we get a name to it? Plus, I also wanted proof that I was actually intuitive, because I didn't really believe it. I didn't know that I believed the things, the dead people and all the stuff. I wanted some evidence of that. And so I have the evidence. I know it's there, but now I feel like I can take what I've learned and use that to help other people, which is pretty much what drives me. Because we all want to feel like, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like an alien? Why do I feel like I don't fit? Mm-hmm. And there's always a reason. And you do fit. You just maybe don't fit with everybody. Because
Yeah.
what do we know? Manifestors aren't for everybody. There's a whole litany of reasons why. We're all super specific, individual people with our own special gifts and skills. And so that's always my charge, is to push that forward for people. How does that feel, Grace?
Yeah, that feels like a great reason why you are in this. And I feel like you do it more for the personal reward with people rather than you can have in your career. I feel like you just get more out of like making someone's day a little better.
Yeah. I don't like people to stew when they're wondering why they don't fit or what's wrong, because that's just silly.
Yeah. And like also another thoughts popping in my head from previously, but like connecting to you as my mom that is an astrologer person, it also helps me to make decisions that feel like, oh, we are struggling here because that's not supposed to work. That helps me navigate a different direction instead of trying to like
headbutt it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
You should get your birth chart read because it really does help you understand yourself better.
Yeah, it is. It's really, I would think, especially for parents and their children. We didn't even talk as much about some of the family stuff that I want to. So maybe we'll have you come back and we'll talk about some of those family generational trends where you see the repeated patterns in families, which is just fascinating stuff. It's kind of cool. That'd be fun. I hope you got something for yourself today. I hope it wasn't too much jargon. I know some of you tap out when I start saying words like Uranus. Anyway, come back next week. We have Peggy coming back for our Sage and the Mystic episode. That will be released the first Sunday of each month. So we have a wonderful episode this week. I am super excited about it. I listened to it over and over again as I was editing it, and I just kept, there was so much there, so much goodness. A week after that, so episode 11, we'll have the original E.F. Hutton from my friend group who helps me make life choices and all that. So we're going to talk to her. We're going to go through her chart. So it's just fun. Lots of fun coming up here on Unreasonable Magic. There's always an energetic reason why we are the way we are, what we're going through, what we're feeling, and it's so helpful to understand it and name it so we don't have to feel weird, feel shamed, blame ourselves, or do anything. It's like, this is just who you are and what you're here to be doing. So, Grace, I thank you for being here with us today, and I hope that everybody has learned something today. Please keep looking for your own signs from spirit in your life. Look for the magic moments in your own life, because I feel like it's what helps us and heals us. So have a beautiful week. We'll be back here next week with the Sage and the Mystic.